Aiden, making a little tutorial for you. First of all, you sound really good, man. So kudos. You've come a long way just playing without any instruction. And so I'm glad I can help a little bit. And, so take all of this with a grain of salt. You got to play next weekend. If you did it the way you did it today, it's going to be okay. You'll be fine. But what I'm going to teach you a little here is some phrasing. Along with the fingers that we talked about today, we'll talk about some phrasing ideas. The secret to playing the horn is having musical intention lead your physical actions. So if we strengthen the way that you want this to sound, you're making it sound a certain way, and that's going to drive these muscles. These muscles are connected to the same part of the brain that your communication, your vocal cords are connected to, and they get signals from the same place. So if you can imagine that you're singing, then this whole thing gets a lot easier. So fool yourself into thinking that you're singing while you're playing your horn, and really figure out how you think when you sing, and do that same mindset when you're playing the horn. Now let's talk about Mozart 1. It starts with beat 4, right, on the way in, the phrase. So we want that 4 to lead to 1. Right? If you can sing it, you can play it. So learn how to sing it. Learn how to sing it really well. And then guess what? You're going to play it the exact same way that you sang it, I promise. I've had students squawk weird sounding eagle sounds out of their instruments because that's what they did when they sang it with their voice. It transfers completely. Anyway, so not to get too bogged down on all of that stuff, let's talk more about Mozart here. Still leading, right? All right? Got those two little phrases? This next one coming up, if you can treat these 3 eighth notes a little differently. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. That way, but faster and not as loud. And you don't have to rush the 16ths. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. Yeah. All right. So with that, our 16th notes coming up at B, and we talked about G sharp, thumb 2. Ya da 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 da. Now if it's me, I'm playing that C sharp 2 and 3. Ya da 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 da. And this one we talked about too, going down C sharp 2 and 3. Ya da da da. G sharp 2nd. Da. F sharp 1 and 2. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. You'll probably find that so much easier. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. Sometimes those really help if you start them off at the front. Sort of like making a tough word roll off the tongue. And again, singing, okay? here we are with these half notes. This is a weird phrase to make happen, but you can make it happen. Bum, dum, ba, da, da, ya, da, da, dum. Right? Give the eighth notes some direction. Try to make them as connected as possible. You'll hit them, and you won't miss them if you really connect them. Easy finger trill, just an easy finger trill. Okay? Ja da 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 dum dum ba dum. Make sure that A sharp leads to the B. Ba da 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 ba da da dum. 1, 2, 3, 4, ba da dum. Make sure you're counting those notes. Those beats. That way you know where that da 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 is, and you're not fooled by it. Practice with a metronome. Because that's an important moment. And you don't want to have to think, just sing. Just practice that scale. Ja, da, 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 dum. Practice it slow. Da, 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 dum. Two for the G sharp, 1 and 2 for the F sharp, yada. Thumb 2 for the E. So you're just keeping your B flat side, you're keeping your thumb down the whole time. Da 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 da. Yeah. Thumb 2 is what you end on. All right. Next little spot, same thing at D. We want to make these 3 notes that are the same not exactly sound the same. So make them grow. Bum, 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 bum. We make them grow in length and in tension a little bit. Bum, 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 bum. That's not the right note, though. See how that whole thing is a phrase? It's like a big, long phrase. Ba, 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 ba. Make sure you feel beat 3, or measure 3 of D, that tied note. If you can feel that tied note, you'll springboard off of it, and it'll be wonderful. Bum, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba do da do da do da ba dum. Growing to here, then you fade. That makes any sense. Next spot, deliberate. There's no phrase marks. Tongue them. Whoops. Bonum, right? Get the juicy music out of that little motion, yeah? Next spot, we're back to our same, we just played it. I'm slurring a little where it says to tongue, at least in the part that I just now got. I don't know where my music is. Like I said, Mozart did not put these markings in here, so you can take them with a grain of salt. My edition may have had slurs there. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 after E. But in general, it's the style you want, okay? And flipping it off at the end. Try to make that as nice and free and smooth as you can. Just spit it out. All right, so now here we have this little weirdness. All right, Some little intention. I may be a little fast. The way I'd be playing it would be 2 and 3 with the C sharp there. And ya da 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 1 and 2 to thumb 2, keeping the B flat side the whole time. Your B flat side is the way to go for these, even if you're not really used to using it. Okay. And the same thing, measure 110 going into 111. Did you notice I played those notes? Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Springboard into that beat 1 of 111. I'm trying to finger this on the B flat side, but I'm used to going to thumb 2 and 3 for that F sharp because that's how I finger it on my E flat side of this horn. But we'll talk about that some other time. All right, here's F. Same thing. We got 3 E's in a row. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. Make sure they have some direction. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. Bum bum ba da da da. Bum ba da 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 da. Bum bum. We talked about those magic fingers. Absolutely, this C sharp works good. Thumb 1 if you, thumb 1 if you need it. The E's thumb 2, F sharps 1 and 2, G sharps thumb 2, A 1 and 2, B natural second, right? But that C sharp kind of works 2 and 3 pretty well also. But there's that other option you have. The next C sharp, bum ba da da da, you kind of do want to play 2 and 3 because it's a longer note and it's going to sound a little wonky. Thumb 1, all right? So in general, you kind of want to get used to playing that C sharp 2 and 3 with the thumb. It's going to sound much better. It's a little squirrely note on most horns. Anyway, moving right along past F onto G. All right, same thing. We got 4 going into 1. Bum 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 dum bum 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 ba da 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 ba da ba da da da. Make that second G sharp more than the first, and come away to the A. Bum ba dum. Right? You feel that? Right? And then this just flashy thing at the end. We talked about the fingerings here. Ya da 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 da. 4 leading into 1. I forgot which one I was playing. Two and 3, like we talked about. 2 and 3 to 2. That works great for that fingering. It's another whole note trill, so you got to be careful and make sure you count all 4 of those beats. We talked about those fingers. Now this end, for sure, C sharp, first valve. This is a perfect spot for it. And D, thumb 2. It's going to be really weird, but somehow this works. Can't make myself trill it with a finger. But that's what you're going to do. And don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about lip trills. It's not a big deal. It's going to sound just fine. You're going to do a good job. If you have any questions, send me an answer in an email, and I will do what I can for you. Hope you enjoyed this, man. Good luck.